Something that I wanted to talk about today is, as my book is coming to fruition, I have talked in the past about masking and authenticity and neurodivergency and autism and ADHD. And one of the things that I get questions periodically in private messages is, when did I realize that I was masking? And one of the things that I learned in all of the training and the therapy that I've been going through is the different roles and the different personas that I would pick up on through my life. As an autistic individual, I adopted through masking. Masking is individual behavior that allows me to perform in different aspects, arenas, stages of my life. And I adapt my behaviors. I would adapt my behaviors to perform certain identities to fit in to various social contexts. And doing this, I would play multiple roles. And by playing multiple roles of the perfect student or the glorious giver or the friendly neighbor or whatever it was, the worker, whatever it was, I would have some conflicts because things weren't lining up, and people would wonder, like, gosh, I don't understand, she's like this here, but when she's over there, she's like that. But each role involved different masking strategies, and I learned to do this subconsciously. This isn't something that I plan to do. This is something that autistics, we do subconsciously because that's how our brain works. As a child, I found out that as a child, for the first few years of my life, I was nonverbal. And all I would do was cry. I would cry and I would cry and I would cry and I would cry. Not because I was always sad, but I just didn't know how to communicate. And the doctor, the records and things in my school records and all kinds of stuff that I got showed me that my people in my life who were there to support me, love me, and help me grow didn't understand why I cried all of the time. I didn't even understand. But looking back now, because we have the information, I was autistic this whole time. Now, I had been called names many times. I was a brat, or I was selfish, or whatever it was. But in order, I knew deep down that I wasn't these things. And so I would put these masks on. That's how I started putting masks on at a young age. I would mimic people. And I still do it to this day. Like, I took the Uber when I was out of town, and the guy was like, "What's that accent from?" And I was like, "I don't know. I must have picked up something in the airport." And he goes, "What do you mean? Like, you sick or something?" Like, no. I mean, I mimic people. I don't do it on purpose, but it also happens periodically at work. I'll pick up a certain accent or certain way of talking, like British or Canadian or, country or Southern or, I mimic people. And so that's a sign for me that I know that, I'm practicing these masks. So one thing to understand is when you know this about yourself and you can see this about yourself and you can pick up on these things, as long as you're not playing with it and hurting people or intentionally doing things that are going to upset someone, I don't see really a harm in it. I'm still finding my way. I'm still learning who I am. And ever since I've been off the medication, I've been able to think more clearly and see things in a better light. The core principles of masking, there's a few of them. So masking involves, sorry, I just got an email. It distracted me. Masking involves picking up on social cues or personas. It's different environments that require different masking skills or strategies. Let me look at my notes here. So, for instance, roles that people play. This is what I was talking about earlier. The roles that I used to play in different arenas in my life caused conflict. Because if I ever was around some of the similar people, we were all together. It's like, why is Niece acting like that? She doesn't act like that at work, or she doesn't act like that at this, or, you know. So, yeah, it would cause conflicts. Some of the other things are the expectations of the world. So many things, social norms, agendas, things that are normal for other people. I felt like I was on a stage and had to perform a role in those different areas of my life. And many autistic people do this, especially high-functioning autistic people. And knowing that about myself is really eye-opening. And it makes me smile because I know that that really wasn't me. And I was just trying to be someone to make someone else happy. So I'm glad I know that about myself now. And having the awareness about that really does empower a person. Understanding that you're not there for them and you're really there, supposed to be there for yourself, has really opened my eyes and my aspect of understanding autism and understanding who I am as a person. I hope that this reflection that I'm sharing with you tonight helps you with some insight in your own awareness and your own autism journey. And even if you're not autistic, but you know people who act this way, give them grace. Don't point fingers and say, oh, you must be autistic, or, you know what I mean? That just makes things worse. But just give them understanding. Maybe just a little bit of love will go a long way.